This, kiddies, is an M14. I've got basically carte blanche to do with it what I want within reason. I don't know if it's a SEMA or a JG. I haven't got a clue. Could be SEMA, could be JG. I haven't got a clue. Apparently it's SEMA. Sometimes hard to tell. I have not tested it. I've not done anything with it. At the moment it's DMR'd. The guy's sight limit is 400 feet per second for DMR. Realistically, he's going to be a little bit outgunned. I can make this thing do basically what a 400 feet per second DMR is doing at 350. You know, it's not that hard a thing to do. It'll be cheaper, it'll be better for him. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it all out, see what I think of it. Let me show you something that'll blow your mind, kiddies. I have now moved away from LiPo batteries for my testing, because I fucking hate them. I hate them. When the gun is finished, I'll test it on the customer's gun, that's no problem at all. But the amount of fucking batteries I get through, you know, you're testing a gun, you're testing it and something, no, the fucking battery stops, you can't charge it, it's dead, fucking cells are gone. So I've gone old school. This, boys and girls, is a Nimmy. Back in the day, if you had a 12 volt, 3300 milliamp fucking racing pack in your AEG, you were unstoppable. This I can run flat, I can recharge it, it doesn't matter, and they're cheap. This is about 25 quid, you know? This is going to be perfect for everything I want to do. Sorting out guns, fixing guns, doing guns, excellent. Obviously, if someone's got an AEP, probably not going to plug it into I'd like to see what it does actually, wouldn't you? Imagine a fucking Glock AEP, fucking... Woo! Anus open. That is on a 7.4. Oof. Let's try it on my 12 volt. What a twat. That is the second time in a week I've done that. What a fucking donkey. Now let's have a quick chat about gearboxes. This is how this gun sounds. Now I'm sure you're sat there going, oh god, ugh. That doesn't feel grindy. It feels smooth. It just makes that noise. That's a fucking weird thing, isn't it? You'd expect that to be all fucking noisy, but grindy as well. Like, you'd be able to feel the vibration. No, I mean, I'm holding it here, you know, the motor's sitting back here. It sounds nasty. Feels fine. Feels absolutely fine to me. So, let's have a chat about gearboxes, because some people don't quite get it. They don't quite get it. So, let's have a quick discussion on that shit. This is one of mine. This is one of my... just a bog standard M4, really. I've painted it up in a nice OD green. It's not really OD. It's what people expect to be OD green. It's more like a forest green, isn't it? Nice forest green. Got my markings on it, which is very nice. So, this is my gun. I built this for me. It is black water markings on it. It's very cool. I like this gun. I just built it for me because this is the flavour I wanted at the time. I had an idea and I just built it out of bits. This is my gun, basically. Or one of, you know, I might use it. I doubt it. Who's to say? Now, this has just got a boring G&P gearbox in it with a SEMA motor. I think it's an ultimate hop unit inside it. I have done very little to this. Very little. It's basically how G&P let it leave the factory. That is it on a 7.4. Now obviously, generally speaking, I don't use 7.4s. I use 11.1s. That's how it sounds. Look at that. Really throws you around. It's nice. But that's it. That is what a G&P gearbox sounds like. Let's talk SEMA. I'm going to crack out the SEMA again. This is my SEMA. This is a platinum. These are fucking excellent. And this is what it sounds like out the box. You may have heard this before. Hear that? That ring sound is from back here. That is amazing, isn't it? That's on the 7.4. Not mad rate of fire. No requirement whatsoever to use 11.1 in this gun. None at all. Let's compare it to another seamer. Now you may recognise this one, kinda. Think back to my Valken video where basically the whole thing was fucked. The guy really liked the look of that gun. So he's taken his old seamer and he's gone, make it awesome, make it do a thing, make it look like the Valken as best possible, which is what has happened here. Now, this is a much more basic seamer gearbox. There's basically 5 generations of that gearbox, the Platinum being the best. There is the Sportline version, which I haven't got one here. The next one up is the basic. This one here is the basic. No quick change spring. It's got 8mm bushings, but there's like a cross section in the back of the bushing. They're very, very noisy. But because of the gearbox casing, I can't put bearing bushings in here. The bearing bushings don't sit right and they rattle around and move. It's not possible to get the bearing bushings in there and have it sound good. So you've got to use the original bushings. I've changed the 2 steel cross-section bushings out from around the bevel gear, but the rest are the same. They are standard. Now, you may recognise the MOSFET. All of this is built on parts supplied to keep the costs down. The only thing that is new inside here is the gears. Everything else is a used part supplied by the customer. So, even that MOSFET is the one that was badly fucked. As you can see, I have completely rewired that. Completely rewired it. How does it sound now? That is on a high-speed motor and a 12-to-1 set of gears with 3 teeth knocked off. The idea is you want to use a big volume because the barrel is long. He's going to get a longer suppressor, alright? The barrel comes to here, that's a big long barrel. It's not perfect for a high-speed build. This gun does do high speed. Alright? But it's got that sound to it. That's the sound of those bushings in that gearbox. There is no perfect way sometimes to marry up a particular set of gears to a particular set of bushings to a particular gearbox and then bring the motor into it. We've changed out its pistol grip because the other one, the seamer type, the motor was moving around so much that just by turning the gun like this, the motor would move because there was so much room inside the pistol grip. Now this gun, it's not going to break, the piston's not going to go, the gearbox isn't going to go, it's going to be absolutely fine. But it isn't going to sound like the other seamer because this gearbox casing and these bushings that are required in the casing will not allow it. They will not allow it. I could have tried and spent more money on some more steel bushings to go in there, but the steel bushings I've got here already, even they didn't sit properly inside the casing. So, do we want to then redo everything again? How much money do you want to spend? So, this gun won't ever be perfectly silent. It can't be. It can't be. But, let's do a comparison, shall we? This is a Crytek. Brand new. Never opened. This eventually, in a few weeks' time, is going to get a MOSFET fitted. But it is factory standard. So let's see what the Crytek sounds like as standard versus this gun. Right, this is both on 7.4. Ready? It's quite a difference, isn't it? Not really, though. Listen to the noise of the gears. It's twangy, it's boingy, it's whiny. This one. Let's swap the batteries over. Batteries swapped over. Crytek's, I've not seen the gears breaking personally. I see the pistons go and I see the MOSFETs blow. They sound a bit trashy. If this is a 200 quid gun, I go, 150 quid gun, I go, when it's the cost of one of these fucking guns, what, like £400 plus? And it sounds like that? Please. Here's another one that's box fresh. This is my AR-57. I like this gun. I hate the stock. It's going to get a proper stock on it. I do like it. I think it's very, very cool. And yeah, I'm going to run that wire in there and keep the fucking battery in the box, because obviously that is where the mag lives. This is a very, very, very cheap gun. I think I paid about 120 quid for this. I pick it because it's brand new out of the box, untouched, haven't set the hop, completely standard. So let's hear how this sounds. We'll go with 7.4 again. Ready? Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. Now, if we look at the internals, which you can see just by looking at the mag, it's that cheap transparent plastic. I mean, do you really think that's going to last long? Maybe not. But I don't know. No idea. But I'm not going to use it either. It's going to go, I'm going to change the stock over. I'll put the wiring through the hole and that's it. It doesn't matter. If you have got one of these, if you're going to get one of these, just so you know, pull that back to put the mag in. Don't slap it down. These are literally made of fucking angel wings and they'll break, alright? But yeah. What's it like on 11.1? Ready? That's alright. That's nice, isn't it? And finally, my HK, because I love it. Again, you've seen this before, it's a double bell. That basically means it's double eagle, which basically means it's a clash. Alright, that's what makes it perfectly good gun. I've done nothing to it apart from add this rail. Like I said, this was, it's so fucking funny. There's a couple of people selling this rail for about 120, 130 quid, right? I got this as a sample, granted. I got it as a sample. I didn't pay anything for it. They wanted to know what I thought. And I was honest with them and said, I like it. I really do like it. AliExpress, 43 quid. AliExpress, 43 quid, free shipping. UK, 120, 130, and in some cases 140 quid. It's the same rail, in the same box, with the same bits of paper. It's the fucking same. Before I fire it, let's compare it to how a VFC sounds out the box, which you've seen in my other videos, and we compare it to this version. There's a little bit of rubbing on the gears there. Bit of a low rate of fire as well. Nothing a motor won't, solve. Change it out. But on the 11.1, when you consider this is a 160, 170 quid gun, and consider you can buy that rail for 45 quid, give or take, posted from China, why are you going to spend 450 quid on a fucking VFC? Now, obviously, yeah, the trademarks, as you saw, very funny. That's just the thing. Just to annoy people. But that's how it sounds. This one is rocking around the 460 feet per second mark. Now, I've changed loads of parts on the inside, internal bearing gears, the works. It's running 11.1 and it's got a Warfare. The motor is completely standard because the motors that come with these are pretty good. No sense changing something, it doesn't need changing. But how does she sound? At 460 feet per second? Pretty good, right? It's amazing to think that something like this can go together so quickly, and then a VFC, which just the whole world is fucking telling right now, they're the best guns to work on! I work on them all of the time! Good. Maybe it's just guns in the UK. They just don't work properly. Yeah, maybe. They are running at a much lower power. Some of those VFCs from the fucking previous video actually did come through with wires glued in and bushings glued in. People have messaged me and gone, yeah, no, they have come with the fucking bushings glued in and the wires glued in. It's like, well, fucking hell. How accepting of that is that your product is of shit quality? SEMA aren't fucking gluing their bushings in. Fuck me, A&K aren't gluing their bushings in. VFC? What the fuck? You know? Why are you gluing it in? It's causing problems. Fucking hell. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. I believe that statement less and less every single day. Because you don't get what you pay for. I wouldn't pay the asking price for that Crytek. Not on your fucking life. Not on your life. For proprietary parts, and it sounds nowhere near as good as a gun, a third of the price, and performs the same. No. No fucking way. You've got people who are bragging. Bragging. It's bragging rights. This is literally a before and after. A before and after. So, before I fuck with it. Oof. And after. And yeah, bollocks, because I was going to leave the wood exactly how it was, because that plastic wood was fucking terrible. To get this effect on the wood, it does look good. And we say, oh, I'm about to fuck off, because I think you'll find that looks indefinitely better than when the wood turned up. That is literally 3 minutes with a can of black spray paint. That is all that is.